Chapter 2. Lord Nityananda's stay with Shrivasa and his Vyasapuja ceremony. Discussing topics of Krishna in the association of Lord Nityananda overwhelmed all the devotees. All of them were pure devotees and most magnanimous. They remained intoxicated by drinking the nectar of Krishna's topics and shouted loudly in ecstasy. Nityananda Prabhu smiled and looked all around as the devotees shed tears of joy. Seeing Nityananda, Mahaprabhu Vishvambara was extremely pleased. He said to Lord Nityananda, "Listen, O Shripad Nityananda Gosai, where will you do Vyasapuja? Tomorrow is the auspicious full moon day when one offers special worship to Sri Vyasadev. Consider this matter and let us know." Nityananda followed the intention of the Lord. He caught hold of Shrivasa Pandit's hand and brought him before the Lord. Nityananda smilingly said, "Listen, Vishvambara, I'll do Vyasapuja at this Brahmana's house." Lord Vishvambara said to Shrivasa Pandit, "You have got a heavy responsibility on you." Shrivasa Pandit replied to the Lord, "This is not at all difficult for me. By your mercy, everything is available at my house. All the necessary items such as cloth, fragrant flowers, brahmana thread, ghee, betel nuts, and pan leaves are there in my home. I will only have to borrow a book that describes how to do Vyasapuja. With great fortune, I will celebrate Vyasapuja tomorrow." Hearing the words of Shrivasa Pandit, Mahaprabhu became very pleased, and all the Vaishnavas happily chanted the names of Lord Hari. Lord Vishvambara said, "Listen, Shripad Gosai, please give me permission so we can all go to Shrivasa Pandit's house." Nityananda Prabhu was very happy to hear the words of the Lord. Then they all started for the house of Shrivasa Pandit. Nityananda and Vishvambara, along with all the devotees, exactly resembled Balaram and Krishna with the cowherd boys of Gokul. As soon as they entered the house of Shrivasa Pandit, everyone felt boundless happiness within his heart. The Lord ordered them to lock the main entrance of Shrivasa Pandit's house. He allowed no one except the relatives of Shrivasa Pandit to come inside the house. The Lord then said to begin kirtan. Everyone began an ecstatic kirtan and thus lost his external consciousness. Both lords danced jubilantly while the devotees sang around them. Sri Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, who are eternally absorbed in love of each other, danced together while meditating on each other. Someone shouted loudly, someone roared, while someone fell senseless to the ground and others simply cried. Signs of ecstasy, such as shivering, perspiration, standing of the hair on end, being unconscious due to love of God, were visible on the bodies of the two lords. The two lords danced in their own happiness. Sometimes they embraced, and sometimes they cried. Both of them tried to catch the other's feet, but neither got success. They both rolled on the ground in infinite happiness. They forgot themselves, absorbed in their internal moods. They went into such a trance they forgot to keep their clothing intact. The Vaishnavas tried to quiet them, but failed in their attempt. Who can hold them who hold the three worlds? Both lords were intoxicated by enjoying the kirtan. Sri Gaurasundar loudly exclaimed, "Chant more, chant more!" His whole body became wet due to tears of ecstasy. Fulfilling his desire to be with Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya lost awareness and floated in the ocean of bliss. The dancing of Vishvambara was so amazing that while dancing, his lotus feet would often touch his head. Lord Nityananda danced. The whole earth shook. All the Vaishnavas thought there were earthquakes. The two lords thus danced in ecstasy. Who can describe their happiness? To reveal the glories of Lord Nityananda, Lord Vishvambara suddenly climbed on the throne of Lord Vishnu in the mood of Lord Balaram. The Lord, overwhelmed in the mood of Balaram, repeatedly demanded, "Bring wine, bring wine." Sri Gaurasundar then said to Sri Nityananda, "Give me a plow and a club right away." Instructed by the Lord Nityananda placed something in the hands of Gaurachandra, who accepted it. Some of the devotees saw only the exchanges of hands and nothing else. Someone directly saw the plow and the club. Only one who is favored by the Lord can understand him. Others, even if they see the Lord, cannot recognize him. This is a very confidential topic. Only a few persons knew about it, and then only if they were favored by Lord Nityananda. Receiving a plow and a club from Lord Nityananda, the Lord went mad and asked for varuni, honeyed wine. Everyone was confused, unable to decide what to do. They simply looked at each other's face. After due consideration, all the devotees brought a pitcher of Ganges water and gave it to the Lord. Everyone offered water and the Lord drank it. It appeared as if the clouds drank the water. On all sides, the devotees recited prayers, glorifying Lord Balaram. The Lord repeatedly called out, "Nada, nada." The Lord moved his head back and forth, asking for nada again and again. None of the devotees could grasp the meaning of this word. All the devotees inquired, "O Lord, who are you calling by the name of nada?" The Lord replied, "It is him whose loud call I have appeared by. The one you all know as Advaita Acharya is known as Nada. I have appeared because of him. Nada has brought me here from Vaikuntha, but he is living peacefully with Haridas. I descended to inaugurate Nam Sankirtan. I will preach this chanting in each and every house. I will not give love of God to those fallen souls who offend my devotees, being proud of their learning, wealth, high birth, knowledge, and austerity. I will freely give to everyone this love of God, which even Lord Brahma rarely attains." Hearing the Lord, all the devotees floated in the ocean of bliss. After a time, the son of Sachi calmed down. "What mischief have I done?" the Lord inquired. The devotees replied, "Nothing serious." The Lord then embraced everyone, saying, "Please excuse my offenses." Hearing the Lord's words, the devotees began to smile as Lord Nityananda rolled on the ground. Lord Nityananda was unable to check his emotion. Love of God overwhelmed Lord Nityananda, who is non-different from Lord Shesha. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he cried, and sometimes he loosened his clothes. He appeared to be very childish. What remained of his sannyas stick, what remained of his water pot, and what remained of his clothes? He scattered everything all over the ground. The most grave Lord Nityananda became very agitated. Then Lord Chaitanya personally caught and pacified him. Appearing like one who is drunk, Lord Nityananda was easily controlled by the words of the Lord. The Lord said, "Please be quiet now. We will celebrate Vyasapuja tomorrow." After pacifying Lord Nityananda, the Lord returned home. All the devotees also returned to their respective homes. Lord Nityananda, however, remained at the house of Shrivasa Pandit. On that same night, Lord Nityananda shouted loudly and broke his sannyas danda and water pot into pieces. Early next morning, when Ramai Pandit got up from bed, he was astonished to see the broken danda and the water pot. Ramai Pandit at once told Shrivasa Pandit about this. Shrivasa said, "Go tell this to Lord Chaitanya." Hearing this incident from Ramai Pandit, Lord Chaitanya came there without delay. He saw Lord Nityananda laughing, being devoid of sense perception. The Lord picked up the broken sannyas danda with his own hands and went to take bath in the Ganges with Lord Nityananda. All the devotees headed by Shrivasa Pandit also went to bathe in the Ganges. The Lord personally threw the danda into the Ganges. Unable to pacify the most agitated Lord Nityananda by words, the Lord had to chastise him. Seeing a crocodile, Lord Nityananda tried to catch him. Gadadhar and Shrivasa Pandit exclaimed, "Alas, alas!" Lord Nityananda fearlessly swam in the middle of the Ganges. Only the words of the Lord made him become somewhat peaceful. Vishvambara called Nityananda, "Hurry up! Today we will celebrate Vyasapuja." Hearing the call of the Lord, Nityananda came back to the bank. After completing his bath, he returned home with Lord Chaitanya. Soon all the devotees gathered at the house of Shrivasa Pandit and did Nam Sankirtan. Sri Chaitanya appointed Shrivasa Pandit as the head priest for the Vyasapuja ceremony, and by his order, he performed everything. Everyone chanted the holy names in a sweet melodious tune. The house of Shrivasa Pandit turned into Vaikuntha. Shrivasa Pandit knew all the scriptural conclusions. He therefore executed all the proper rituals with utmost care and expertise. Placing sandalwood paste and nice flower garlands in the hands of Nityananda, he said, "Listen, Nityananda, offer this garland and recite these prayers while offering obeisances to Sri Vyasadeva. It is the injunction of the scriptures that one should personally worship Sri Vyasadeva. By satisfying Sri Vyasadeva, one achieves all success." Lord Nityananda kept saying, "Yes, yes," but he did not quite know what prayer he should recite. Nobody could understand the whispers of Lord Nityananda. Holding the garland in his hands, he repeatedly looked around. The most magnanimous Shrivasa Pandit told Nityananda, "My dear sir, you are not worshipping Sri Vyasadeva." Hearing the words of Shrivasa Pandit, Sri Gaurasundar quickly rushed in front of Nityananda. The Lord told Nityananda, "Listen to me. Please put this garland on Sri Vyasadeva at once and complete the Vyasapuja ceremony." All the Vaishnavas became overwhelmed in ecstasy. They all observed the Vyasapuja ceremony with great pomp. Some of them danced, some sang, and some rolled on the ground. Everyone tried to catch hold of each other's feet. Sachi, the mother of Sri Chaitanya and the entire universe, saw the whole fun from a distance. Seeing both Vishvambara and Nityananda, she treated them equally as her sons. The Vyasapuja was the most magnanimous event. Only Lord Ananta can describe it properly. I am simply trying to glorify the qualities of Lord Nityananda in codes. If one somehow or other glorifies Krishna, he will be benefited. They completed the Vyasapuja ceremony at the end of the day. Then, all the devotees began to dance with Vishvambara. They were all maddened with jubilant ecstasy. They cried while chanting, "O Krishna!" After exhibiting his own devotional service, Vishvambara, along with all the devotees, became peaceful. Then Vishvambara advised Shrivasa Pandit, "Bring all the prasad of Vyasadeva right away." When he brought all the items, the Lord personally served everyone with his own hands. Being served personally by Lord Chaitanya, all the devotees honored the prasad. The Lord personally invited and served all who lived in Shrivasa Pandit's house. The servants and maidservants of the Vaishnavas easily received what demigods headed by Brahma rarely attained. All these wonderful pastimes happened at the house of Shrivasa Pandit. Who can describe his good fortune? In this way, various wonderful pastimes were performed at Navadvip that were unknown to the ordinary people. Then Mahaprabhu told everyone, "Now that the Vyasapuja is complete, chant the holy names of Krishna." Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their pastimes.